Let's go. Crypto, baby. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. Jolt's job openings came in a little bearish. NASDAQ was pumping. We got liquidity. Look at all that liquidity to 120,000. What's happening here? Bitcoin. Wow, this is some of the craziest price action I've seen in a long time. The numbers are just absolutely going crazy. Look at this. They're just fighting it. Someone's trying to sell off into this position here. You can see it. It's like, someone is rapid selling into Bitcoin right now as hard as they can. And it's like barely moving the market. This is very interesting. This is pure violence. Do you see this? This is absolute insanity on the small time frames. I bet they go liquidate the shorts now, right back to the upside. They're all over the place here. Longs and shorts, shorts and longs. Bitcoin. What a treachery. Right? That's why we trade it. The volatility, baby. Ain't nothing better. I'll see you in a few minutes, 5 minutes. We'll be back in action, ready to rock like we always do.
Can I tell you that?
Bam. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Critical times for Bitcoin, as it always is. It always seems to be. Jolt's job opening, jumping on in. We're looking at the data live here as it comes on in. Bitcoin with a little bit of a slump, but is that bearish? Jolt's job openings, there was less job openings than there was previously. And then there was less than forecast at $7.44 million. We're going to talk about the data, break it down for you, and show you what I'm seeing right now, right here on the Crypto Lifer Show. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the greatest show on earth when it comes to trading. We're going to teach you how to trade any asset in the world, from Forex to the NASDAQ to Bitcoin. It does not matter. This is a trader's trading show. If you're a beginner, a newcomer, someone who just loves trading, you love technical analysis, you can't get enough, then this is the place for you. If you're going after your dreams, you want to become someone who you know is the greatest version of yourself, then this is the place for you. If you're disciplined, you love yourself, you want to spread love, light, and happiness throughout the world, then this is the stream for you. Go to cryptolifer.com to find out more about me and learn about my services and what I do. Let's break it down. Let's have some fun. And if you want to go to class, I teach class the last Saturday of every month. If you're a beginner and you've been watching me for the last few weeks, but you just want that extra touch, jump on into class. It's 3 hours, $150. It's like having a one-on-one with me, which is $300 an hour. This is $150 for 3 hours. You can't get a closer connection to a teacher, mentor in the space than this right here. I'm telling you right now. Hit the QR code. Find out more about Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. Ask people about me. Say, what happens? What's up with this guy's class? They don't tell you. It is top-notch, A1, first class. God bless everybody. Let's break down. So the Jolt's job opening comes in at 7.44. All right, let's kind of break down what's happening to BTC. BTC has a crazy little dump to 117, but then pumps back up to 118. I was bullish on Bitcoin this morning. Last night, I watched it, and I said, hey, it was sitting like this last night. And I said, I'm looking for a breakout to the upside here tonight, and we got a good, nice pump. If you got in where I talked about the entry here in the trading group, you did get a beautiful, nice pump there. But 4 in the morning, we switched ways, came back down, flipped it back up, and I was looking for this right shoulder. Shoulder had right shoulder. We did make the right shoulder. A little bit of a scrimmage there on the side. And now Bitcoin's fighting some key levels. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP. BOOKMAP has a bunch of liquidity to the upside, which tells me, hey, there's no reason why we can't reach for the stars here and go all the way to 120K. But we got big red at 117.5. Looks like we almost touched it. We were pretty dang close. We were 117.8 just now. Why didn't we go to 117.5? Not sure. You think we would have been able to touch the levels? We'll see. It was crazy. Price action during the countdown was going back and forth like a pendulum. It was absolute insanity for Bitcoin there for a couple minutes. I mean, I just the price couldn't, now it's moving, but this is moderate. You see? During the countdown, it was like this. 300, 200, it was like, whoa. It was like people are having someone is trying to have their way with Bitcoin, and then someone's saying, no, you don't. And whether it's, retail searches for Altcoin is up. Look at that, 333.33. Why is that just showing what? 118, 333. I love that. But searches for altcoins are up in Google. People are getting, starting to get excited. And there's money to be made out here in altcoins. I'm telling you right now, there's money to be made. I like to swing altcoins all night long, baby. And I'll tell you what coin I was hard on. And I told everybody about it. And I said, hey, this coin is hot. This is likely going to be the game, the win, something that's going to pump tonight. And we went over it. And it's funny, as I wait for coins to pump hard, I'm going to teach you kind of a bit of my strategy today, like my long-term, big picture strategy. I'm going to give you some really cool insight that's going to help you. But the coin was ZBCN, looking to do damage. I like to call it Zebekin, as funny, but the Zebek network. And it's doing work right now as we speak. Let's talk about the daily hot sauce right now. Also, I'm looking at this as a long. Entry could already been there or even now, but on the bigger picture, it doesn't really matter anywhere in this vicinity. If it dumps, it's going to liquidate everybody. If it pumps, you get to ride to Valhalla. It is touching the 21. It is a flag. It's above the 200. Things are looking bullish for me. That has a higher probability of breaking out than breaking down. But who knows? Only time will tell here. Bitcoin also looks like it could be making lists. Look, I can always see it both ways, and then I find the probability of which one maybe can push the other one out the way by watching the smaller time frames. They kind of give you the answers. That's kind of a head and shoulder there, too. We got to be a little careful there, too, as well. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin and all its wonders, all the ups and downs, all the pros and cons. We're not going to sugarcoat it for you today. We're going to have some fun. So if you're ready to see it for what it is, have some fun. I'll break it down. I'm ready to show you the sauce. ZBCN network breaking to the upside, hitting the first target on the way to possibly a 51% gain. Look at the breakout by ZBCN network booming to the upside, and think about it. Overnight, I made over 5 racks about now, and this thing is starting to boom further to the upside. Nice pump here to the upside as well for the ZBCN network. Does it break out of this parabolically and just absolutely rip it? This could be some more. Do I take my profits? You know? And I love the way they have this set up now. Here on MEXC, you could trade spot beautifully. You could trade it wherever too. This coin was everywhere. But you could see it was a beautiful setup here. Just getting tight moving averages, exactly what I go for. And this is kind of, this is what I do. Now, this thing may moon for more. Doesn't really matter to me. I was just swing trading it for some gains. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Available. Oh, no, yeah. I was about to say, I was like, I know I put some money in there, but did I that much? I put about 15 grand. I made 5,000. I'm going to sell this puppy. I always say that, and then everyone sells on me beforehand, right? But there's a $5,259 sell for the ZBCN network, and it probably could keep mooning. Likely it moons again for more. I might be missing out probably on 25 racks. But I made my money overnight. I do not want to be greedy. I made a great swing trade, and I'm going to pay the trader, right? I wasn't planning on holding this thing all day long, right? And look at how they can fill liquidity here on MEXC. Like, look at people eating it up because they're eating, sell green candles, man. It's easy to get out. When at the top, it's harder to fill a big position. Look at only MEXC could fill positions this way. Ripping. And sell into buy pressure, man. Especially if you're going to be a whale. And whale in like I am. Once I feel a bit of that, I usually would cancel that and try to, sell a little under yet again. But it seems like it's got a strong set. Look at my huge. But now see, I'm going further up. You see? So what I do is cancel, and then I sell under. You see? This is what drags price down technically because orders, But bang, and I'm out, and I made my gains. You see, with very little fees too on MEXC. So, and again, I had to trade. That's why I was a little late, man. I was setting up trades. Sometimes I'm in a fat trade. I'm looking at parameters and I'm starting the stream, but I also have to see what's going on. And I got to pay attention to what I'm doing. I might be in a live trade. I might be juggling 20, 30 racks at a time. I mean, that was a $15,000 position. I sold for 20 grand, right? And again, who knows? I'm not trying to be a big shot. I'm just trying to show you parts of my life. I don't show every trade because I don't want to be rude. I lost a trade this morning. I lost a leveraged scalp for $100 on Bitfinex. So there's a loss right there. I said I also made 5K, but I'll be okay, But I did lose. I don't always win. All right. And this is strong. This is likely going to continue to pump. I just don't need the risk anymore. You see what I'm saying? I'm out of risk. I did my thing. I like to be in big, take a position and in and out. This was my dream, was to trade large positions, get small moves. And I remember one day I said, man, I wish I could just make 5 grand a day off of 15 or 20 grand. I would sit in my house when I had no money, and I used to say that what just happened to me right now, I used to dream about. And so, I know the music stopped as I'm there, kind of a moment of narration here, but we got to be so grateful for everything we get in this trading world and be super awesome with our progression as we continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? And I gave this to the trading group. Like, I showed everyone what I was doing. And again, it's not a huge move, but that's a nice move. You know, like if you're not greedy and you're just taking 24, 25% a day, especially when the market starts to get really frothy, you see what I'm saying? You know, and there could be I feel like there is more for this. I'd look for it to maybe consolidate. And you know what I could do now is maybe I could lev trade like maybe 300 to 400 bucks of it on 10x or so. You know what I mean? Maybe not. Again, you do whatever makes you happy. I don't want to, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. And I'm saying me, you know what I mean? But like now I have that bomb. Now if I lose the 3 to 400, so be it. I walk away with 46 and I still call it a win. But what if I make another 2,500 or I flip that position or that does well as well? You know, and usually you do better once you're already up. I can't explain that, but you do better once you're already up. Pay the trader. Like today's a great day. $5,000 today. I could walk away. I tell my wife I made $5,000 today. She's going to be very happy with that performance. You know what I'm saying? And so blessings on blessings to everybody out here. Ethereum holding 3,800. Is it going to hold? Let's take a look at our long-term Bitcoin analysis. The bot. It bought right here at about 117.3. It's still in the money. Hold it on. The bot. And you can get into the bot or use the bot that I'm using at Minotaur Trading Systems in my link below /CryptoLifer. Jump on it today. Find out more. Schedule a call. It trades for me all the time. I'll be traveling to Singapore. I'll be going places. I won't be able to be trading. The bot will be in and out of positions for me. The bot will be finding areas. The bot will be doing its thing. I will be getting some of that move no matter where I am, what I'm doing, 24/7. That bot is working for Sam Price, the lifer, and it will work for you too. If you want to jump on in, I do receive an awesome commission. I'd greatly appreciate it if you jump on into the bot. It will be a lifetime entry for one payment, and there it is for life, just working for you. I've already had it made over 30% for me, which is an amazing feat. And, AI bot trading is the future. I was very hesitant to get in, and I can't believe I'm in now. And I'm super excited because it's the beginning. It opens the doors for me. It's like peeling off the Band-Aid, and as you continue to automate your trading, because it's the future, and I'm very manual, but it is what it is, Because Sebek Network could go to 6.4, and that would have made me even more. Looks like it may do that. A little bit of bearish dip though now as the RSI does point down, price up, but still parabolic vibes out here for the Sebek Network. And the last time it was hot, it was hot. So I expect it to get hot again. It would be cool if it consolidates inside of an ascending triangle first here. It chooses this path, goes sideways, and then breaks out. I'll put an alert on it. We'll be watching it throughout the show here. Sebek Network. But I can't tell you I'm not high on life right now. I just made $5,000 publicly. It feels good. Dang. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Follow me at x.com. I'm putting out all the ups and downs, things I'm talking about, why I don't trade Mondays. And I point out, this is an 8 to 12 minute article about what happens and what's happening. Confirmation, other places like this is an awesome update here where you can jump on into BitDinex. Hit the link and find out more with BitDinex. One of the cleanest, nicest interfaces in the game. You got to love it. All right, let me get off my, I'm drunk off gains right now. Let's move on in. Shout out to Master Friend of the House. Shout out to all my beautiful friends. Shout out to everybody out here on the live. May God bless each and every one of you for hanging out, being awesome, and just being a part of something bigger than yourself, the Crypto Lifer Show. I love you more than you would ever know because my frequency is to push every day and make something bigger than it was yesterday, right? I can't do that without each and every one of you. It just can't happen. It's impossible. So without each and every one of you, there's no way. All right? God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate you all for being here. All right. And today's a day to trade too. There's good volatility. Market seems interesting. Anything is possible. We're getting closer to the weekly close, or the monthly close in just a couple days, right? Yeah, we close this monthly candle in 2 days. Amazing. On the 31st, on Thursday night, the monthly candle close. What a time to be alive. Where my lifers at? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Dang, man, people taking days off for this market when there's so much opportunity out here. I got to tell you, like people are thinking there's something better to do when you can make 5 racks overnight. You know what I mean? I'm confused, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep doing what I do, and I can't stop because other people want to take time off, right? Let's take a look at the weekly time frame and see where we're at. I'm stacking. You know, I desire generational wealth. My children will see things never thought possible. We're talking space exploration, the new frontier. Like, things are changing. They're going to print money to zero. You got to stack it now. Like, $1 billion isn't going to be $1 billion in 30 years. It's going to be worth like $500 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, they're going to, you know, we're going into a mass shift. It's time to stack as much BTC as you can as they change the way. And, you know, I'm not a financial advisor, but I believe that stacking Bitcoin is the answer. And I stack XRP. I think speculating on some other assets too isn't the worst thing in the world, because God forbid, what if they do flip or get a bit of more market share? They get some pump action, you know, due to how they're positioned with the government. And I mean, and that's happened in the past. It could happen in this type of environment. Like, it's happened in different technologies in different areas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not this exact same movement in currency, but in that formation has gone over, right? So the weekly time frame looking okay. I'd like it a little stronger, but it's looking good. 21 curving up with it suggests it may even be able to curve up with a pump. 5 days still got indecision dojis. It will have to figure itself out. The 5-day candle closes tonight, though. It looks like it's going to close in a bit of a, you know, unknown state there. 3-day chart looks a little more bullish. Got the wicks to the downside so far, though. Not amazing, but it's a nice little flag. 21 curving up. And to me, it's got some support now forming at around 117,000. These two candles closing there suggest that, yes, you know. Now, if we lose 117K, there's really nothing left but this trend line right here, and then this line here at about 110,000. So Bitcoin is kind of hanging in limbo out here. You have to remember, it's in price discovery. Just like when you see something blow up on the 1 minute and it's like, brrr, and then next thing you know, like it comes back down or something. You have to kind of expand Bitcoin in your mind and look at the daily like it's in the 1 minute. So right now, Bitcoin's been in price discovery, just in slow motion. You know, it's been in slow-mo price discovery on these mass time frames. So I go wick to wick here. It gives me the algorithm measured move, which I've been finding works out like 90% of the time. And that tells me we're going somewhere to $135,000 out of this bull flag. However, the last time we had this nice little flag and it looked like we were going to move, they shattered everybody's dreams with a liquidation event. They may do this again, over and over again. So you never know. You never know. But for me, that's a possible buy at about 118, somewhere between 117.5 and 118,000 is a long for Bitcoin. Stop loss below the wick at 119. The lower we can get, the better, because we can get closer to the stop. Positioning ourselves like about, I think it, when I put it out, it looks like more of a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. So that's a 6-to-1. You know, it's just like, yeah, you throw 1,000 to make 5. I throw 500 to make 3,000. You know, 2,500. So like it's. To me, after they liquidated everybody, there's a chance we can squeak by here on the flag, and I do like to play the 21 above the 200 tight moving averages. A flag outside of the bigger rising wedge that you broke out of already too is usually a bullish sign. So there's some bullish signs for me. Smaller time frames aren't playing with us today though. They're looking sketchy. So I gotta just take what they give me, right? 12 hours, same idea, but it is touching the 21. Stochastics could reset. MACD doesn't look too bad. Almost a little bit of hidden bullishness. That does swing down, but this swings up. Promising. 8 hour back inside the channel. I'm looking for that kind of, you know, to me, complex inverted, right? Like, that's a shoulder, that's the head, that's a shoulder. Like, just, and for, you know, whether we go up or down, I'm predicting for the next, I'd say 16 to 24 hours, just more sideways price action for Bitcoin. So, like, just a little bit of this. You know, we just continue sideways for the next 8 to 10 hours. We got the Fed this week too, right? So it's such a day, it's such a week for crazy price action. You know, it's almost a week to stay away from price action. You know, at the same time, we may get one of the biggest moves ever, so it's kind of, it's like, dang, right? But it says, after all the nonsense, Thursday, we may begin to break out Thursday night, So let's break it down for the people that don't know. But if you've been watching my weekly channel and my weekly screen, weekly close every night, we talk about what's happening at night. And each week we kind of go over what we're going to see, right? So on Sunday night, we went over like all the things that we should kind of watch out for that could be liquidity traps, could really, blow through stop losses and just do some crazy stuff. And so what we're looking for here is, oh no, crazy. Hold on one second. Well, I'm getting lucky. So I have a weapon on, but so it's throwing off the timing, right? That's why that's at 12 a.m. or whatever. But tomorrow at about, I'm going to say, tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. All right, don't remind these times, but tomorrow at Thursday, let's see, Wednesday. Oh, the timing is so off. Tuesday, yeah, we had, boom, Jolt's job opening on Wednesday. So we'll just find out wherever it is, yeah. So we have non-farm, all right, tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning. And, that just, create a, pending home sales coming into, and then the fens rate tomorrow at 2 p.m. That's Wednesday at 2 p.m. Don't forget this timing, but that's Wednesday at 2 p.m. So, you just got to be careful. Anything is possible, all right? Anything is possible. But so tomorrow at 8:30, we got to pay attention. You see what I'm saying? And I'll reset that again and show it to you guys later on in the trading group too as well. But that's going to be coming our way, all right? Something just to kind of look at. So Bitcoin, 4 hour also kind of taking a little bit of a bearish turn there. This could be a shoulder ahead and a right shoulder, and we could just start to dump. Every time it looks kind of a little bullish, it's been tough to trade this chop. Last night we did call the trade up, and that's why I'm in and out. On that, like the Zebecca trade, I still don't fully trust this market just yet. I got my longs, and I've still added to the longs. You see? Maybe I put the $5,000 into ZBCN and let it rock, but I'm just happy taking those. I told myself I was going to swing trade more this cycle and not hold as much. Hold what I got, but swing trade a lot more. And so that's just, and it adds up if you keep taking it. I'm telling you right now, it adds up if you keep taking it. So, Bitcoin, 1 hour time frame doesn't look amazing too. Looks like it has room to dump on us as well on the stochastics RSI. Look at that, like playing with the 200 moving average. 15-minute looks like it's in an M pattern that wants to dump. And they're all below the 200 moving average, like everything, including even the 1 minute, which is in a bear flag now. Right? Seems to be breaking down. So it looks like they want 117.2, 117.5 here on a bit of a wick. We do see the liquidity down there on BOOKMAP right there. So they're like, okay, we'll go grab you guys. Then we'll head back up to 120K possibly. There's still so much liquidity above us. Seems to be way more, but that's deep red. And big red hasn't been spot on, man. Every time I've seen big red on BOOKMAP, we've hit big red. A couple times we used to not hit it. We used to kind of like, 1 out of 10. Now it's been like 10 out of 10. We hit it. Looking at Ethereum, same thing. You got way more liquidations above us than below us, though. Ethereum wants 41. It says maybe 37, but it says it wants 41. Wow. So you can feel this sell pressure that keeps coming onto Bitcoin. And then it seems like there's another end on the other end that's buying. I get this. That's the vibe. I could be wrong, but sometimes you just get this trader instinct. You can kind of feel the market. And I feel this secret devious whale trying to sell right now. And I see like nation states and people saying this is like, we gotta, and I feel a battle here on the liquidity side, but I could be wrong. I could be out of my mind. So, and what I feel does not matter. Remember that. It's what the charts convey. Let's see if we can hold some type of bullish divvy here as this RSI could swing up. We could get somewhat of a bounce. We desperately need to stop the pain right now, and so we can get, my prediction could be right, and we can go sideways for the rest of the day. hold 118,000. So no trade right now for me. I got stopped out of my swing. I'm happy with my scalp that I just hit, and I'm kind of sitting pretty happy right now, right? I was looking at Snoop Frog. I did not buy any. I just thought it was funny. Ridiculous, right? DJI 6930 slipping back to the $40 million market cap. Seems like it's quieted down a bit after that massive run it went on. I mean, it was just insane. Still holding pretty nicely, but it looks like it might slowly bleed and make some like bigger consolidation before its next big move. I still hold it, so we'll see where it goes. You can follow me on x.com to learn so much more about what I do, who I am, and what I'm talking about. My man, have you been shaking out yet, my man? Shout out to my man, Crypto. Hung out with him in Dubai. Great dude. Got to know him on a personal level. Very nice person. No fakeness there. He's exactly who he says he is, right? And, gratitude today for every single thing in our lives. Gratitude for our ability to hear, see, walk, taste, touch, and feel. Some people have lost the ability for those things. Some people aren't where, and what a blessing it is to be alive. May God bless each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Anyone here, maybe you found my channel, you were down and out, but now you're a different person? Put a 333. One day you were depressed, some things weren't right. You clicked on YouTube, you found the Crypto Lifer, and it's been a couple years now, and just things aren't the same. You live a more vibrant life. You're far more appreciative. I believe God has spoken through me into you, and you have spoken back into me. So many people have written to me and said, Sam, you saved me, you helped me. And I'm like, nah, you saved yourself. I was just a spark that helped you get where you wanted to be. Put a 333 if this channel really sparks your inspiration, keeps you going, and makes you want to live life to the fullest. May God bless everyone. Look at these 333s piling in at the speed of light. I love you all. Thank you so much for always hanging out and being awesome and making the stream one of the biggest streams in crypto, in trading, and in the world, baby. I love you all. Thank you so much for everything. May the lifers prevail every single time, baby. If I see a live trade, I'm taking it. But right now, I feel like it's bigger time frame trading. I gave a trade to the trading group on the daily time frame. It looks just something like this here, right? And there it is, right? Simple is as simple does. Really nothing more to it. And that's why I always tell people I'm a simple trader. I don't try to candy coat it. Let's take a look at what's happening on Coin Market Cap and see where we are in the last hour. Pump.fun trying to gain back. Eventually that will pop. I'll probably trade it once everyone's done getting sold and liquidated. Then we'll trade it. We'll start to trade it again. Just like I waited for ZBCN Network. It pumped huge. Came back down. I waited for it to bounce off of 618. Then I hit the first flag I can and I'm out. It's a very simple strategy. I can do it all over the place. You know what I learned is I knew how things reverse. So I said, why don't I just find the highest probability place of reversal and just nail that area and move on? Makes sense, right? Like once you dissect the market on a large scale, find the little scale that makes the most sense. This is going to be the worst analogy ever, but it's like, say you were a kid that didn't want to get hurt and there was a bunch of different things you could do at a playground and they were all fun. Some were a little fun, but had higher risk. Some weren't that fun, had no risk at all. I would get on the ride or the exercise or whatever, whatever the thing was that would have like the good amount of fun with the medium amount of risk. Like I don't want to get too hurt. You know what I mean? That's kind of how trading is. Like there's always more risk out there, but there's also the ability to get really nailed. And so you kind of go in between both of those ideals, right? And you find out kind of where you sit. All right. You don't know those places until it takes you a couple years. Because when you start trading, you might be trading over aggressively for like a year straight and not really knowing it, having really a lot of trouble. Then you might kind of dial it down, find better. Like you might be trading Monday night a lot or Monday mornings and not even know that it's bad liquidity. You have no clue, right? It takes you a long time. After a few years, you're like, man, I should never have been trading Mondays. I'm going to trade more heavily on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. You're like, wow, this changed my whole life. See, that's why having a trading mentor can be amazing for you because it's not just about the technical analysis. It's about liquidity, when and where to trade, why to trade, what exchanges have the lowest fees and why, what's going on, and how to find all this information out and have it at your fingertips in an easy, organized way where you can just get down and start to see it. That's what trading groups are for. That's why you pay the $99. It's an Uber It's the Uber. And you could walk there if you want, or you could take your bicycle, but Uber gets you there pretty dang fast and you know when it's coming. You know, you join a trading group and I'm going to Uber you the information. Simple as that. You're going to know what you should be paying attention to. I'm going to force you to stay disciplined. I'm going to say, hey, if you don't want to look at this, then you're not going to be up where this is. And you're going to say, man, Sam's right. If I want to make a change in my life, then I'm going to have to push myself to become better. I'm going to have to force myself to learn. I'm going to have to go after things that I don't normally, you know, maybe instead of going out with my friends for that extra drink all those nights after work, I'm going to say, no, I got to go home and study. I'm going to actually put some discipline on my life. And sometimes, you know what it is? To get good at something, it's a lot of alone time. A lot of people don't want to be alone with the anxiety. We just want to keep hanging out, no matter who it is. People hang out with people they don't even really like just to hang out. And over time, you look back in your life and you've just wasted so much time hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Just hanging out. And so, I don't know. It tells me, just to be careful, over time. So, yeah. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on it. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time, And welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. We love you, we appreciate you, and we care about you. We thank you so much for jumping on in and being awesome and a part of the Lifers. God bless everybody here on the live. We just, I don't know. I'm just fascinated by everything that happens every day here on the live stream. Blessings to everybody here. So, I want to move forward. I want to talk about altcoins, and I want to talk about what's hot. So, let's take a look here at what's happening. Let's see what's up with your chats. I see some super chats in here too. I see some people jumping on in. Let's take a look at what's cracking. Doge listed on Maxi. Can you look? That's awesome. Yeah, it just looks just like it did there. It's better to look at it on deck screener for now. Yeah. Thanks for always showing up. God bless. Thank you. 777, God bless you and your family, Sam. And the Lifers. Daily Cup and Handy. Love you all. We'll take a look at that too. Thank you, Crypto Cow. FARTCOIN, please. We'll take a look at FARTCOIN. We'll take a look at ZBCN, Daily Cup and Handle, and Solana from the Crypto Wiz. We did look at down. Someone wants to look at it on Maxi, but you kind of want to look at it on the bigger time. That's going to give you the bigger idea, and that will follow suit on Maxi over time. Trust in that. Let's take a look at Solana, baby. Sol, and I'm a big Sol holder. Love my Sol. We had that high at 206. It was beautiful. Should I have sold 200 yet again? Sol, baby, Sol, right? We got to get a bounce here. And so I'm just looking for bigger consolidation. Is a bit of a cup and a handle too as well. That could just boom out of here to the upside. Send us to about $258. Maybe a little higher, almost 260 there for Solana. That's if this cup and handle prevails. I'd like to see it get tight inside the flag, though. Get tight inside this channel, up and down. It breaks out and retest 208, you're gone. I mean, that's going to be a fast move. And you're above the high volume nodes. It's likely you can fall all the way to the value area highs here to 270, 265. Looks pretty likely to me. I'm long Sol. I like it. As long as it stays above the daily 200, I'm bullish. And then this previous support and resistance is holding pretty nice here at about 183. I would not want to see it, go to 170, 165 too fast. Let me go a little lower here. You can see there's it's a range, but resistance there. Let's look at our stochastics RSI. They're oversold, or getting to the oversold region, which is better than, and not too bad of a pullback considering how much of a pump you've had. So, yeah, I just want to see consolidation on these coins. That would be beautiful if you get a big daily up and down consolidation and we break out halfway through August. Nice and smooth, you know what I mean? No crazy pump that dumps us, just a nice beginning platform that pushes us further to the next move. This would be great. That's what I'm looking for. Remember, someone asked me about STX recently, the 777s. I was looking for it to go sideways. It did not. It dumped pretty fast. Now you want to see if it can get back above that 200 moving average. I don't know. Things look a little sketch this morning as they're kind of playing off Bitcoin's, up and down price action right now. I look at it like that, but I'm not too confident in it just yet. That's something I would just have to put an alert on, come back to at a later time, see where it's at. You can't figure out every single thing. Some things you just you let the price action tell you what's going to happen later on. You don't force it. You know what I'm saying? Like forcing it every single time, just not going to be there. Let's look at ZBCN. And my man likes this daily cup and handle here. All right. And did it go lower than the sell? Yeah, a little bit. So far we did sell a wick there. Let's take a look here at the daily. I mean, for me, it seems to be making a bit of a bigger cup here, right? I see what you're saying, though. You're like looking at this, I believe, right? Yeah. So like that's kind of a giant cup in a way. And then you got this cup here. I'm into that. Like it's this like falling wedge. It fell out, broke back inside, wants to do damage this way. I like it. Daily just pumped hard too as well. Right? So we got that explosive move on the daily. I smartly jumped on out, not to be greedy. I mean, that's pretty big. And we got away for the 21-day moving average pretty far too on the daily time frame. That's all you ever want. I mean, you get that every time and you move on. You make a couple racks a day and go from there. And that's spot. I didn't even have to use any type of leverage. So there was no liquidation event. If anything ever happened, I could have just held it for 2-3 months and got my money eventually if it did pump. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like about spot. Like, or I could have just, if it got back to break even, could have just taken my money back. I'm not paying any, very light fee, no funding fee, no nothing, just bang. And so I do a lot of spot swing trading, which is weird. I know a lot of people are like, nobody does that. Everyone, and I love trade too, but I do spot swing trading as well. I don't mind it. And I'm willing to admit it. Most people are like, don't tell anybody you do that. How dare you? And so now we're seeing if we can make a flag here on the 4 hour. If this flag's out on the 4 hour, because the daily does look like it could move, then yeah, I may swing this again. And yeah, like I told you, maybe I'll use a little levy now that I've made a bag. See? But it's all about proper risk management. Welcome, Gene Filippensi. And my right knee, man, I feel like my meniscus is weak or so. I don't know. Something happened like a while back. And now every once in a while, like I feel like I can just, gets a little pain underneath the blade or something, I'm falling apart, man. I'm an old man. So crazy. Nah, I'm 42. I'm all right. I'm still working out, still taking care of myself. I feel younger than ever, baby. I really do. More energy than I've ever had. Ready to rock all the time. I do like my naps now a little bit, but that's, You guys asked me about OMNI just earlier this week. Throughout the week, we were looking at this kind of falling wedge here. I think something like this. It did go lower, but then boom. Off that 200 moving average, and it was gone. OMNI. Astra also getting some big moves. And Wild. If you look at Wild, which is pretty crazy, Wilder World, since July, I looked at this flag, it pumped, right? Since July, though, right here at 12 cents, it's went all the way to 54. Almost did a 5X. I mean, it's almost like, wow, how is that even possible, right? So, pretty crazy if you think about it. And beautiful, actually, so... Amazing times to be alive to watch these altcoins absolutely soar and do damage, right? But now Bitcoin, man, is threatening to take this market down today. The bear flag tumbled hard. Look at this. Just as predicted, right to that liquidity. They really want 117.5. BOOKMAP does not lie. They're trying to shred all these shorts right here. And look at Ethereum fighting 3,700 fast now. They're flush at ETH. They're flush at everything. And it's a tough week to trade. I would be careful trading this week. A lot of ins and outs, a lot of ups and downs. All right. Ethereum. Altcoins. Everything kind of taking a hit. It's like I sold the local top there and got out unscathed. Amazing. I'm getting that like woof. I always get a little like hot on the forehead whenever I see price action getting crazy. I don't know why. It still gets me going a little bit. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I love Bitcoin, and I hate to see it dump in general. I got to be open-minded and trade short or long either way. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's Bitcoin, baby. A little bit of a bullish div there now as we got a swing down, but a swing up on price action. Could that save the day here? Be the daily low on the 1 minute bullish divergence. We would have to, this would have to make a swing up all the way back up. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. To me, a lot of the dips are just liquidation events and creating basically good buy positions for people that are smart. But anyway, that's me. You know, nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. That's just what I'm looking at. Take a look at that crypto fear and greed index at 73. Not too shabby, right? But when it gets to 89, 90, that's always a place where I'm always like, you know, we may want to think about paying the trader there in a bigger way, more ways than one. So let's get this V-shaped recovery back to the upside for Bitcoin. I'm not even fazed by any of this today. It's just another day of trading in the summer chop. Shout out to Kinesis. Thank you so much for the sponsorship. And what I like about Kinesis is I can put my gold and silver to work. I don't have access to my gold and silver now, but when I get home, I'm going to ship some gold. I'm going to turn it into the KAU. I'm going to find yield. I'm going to use the metal back token and the metal back card too as well here. And it's going to give me up to 10% on my metal back purchases, and I'm going to get paid in the KAU token. Then I can use that for more yield, and when I finally make some gains, I'm going to use that and swing it into BTC, maybe even some Ethereum. Can also get into their Velocity token and go through their ecosystem, and you can almost like print, you know, a gain there, use it. It's pretty interesting what you can do. So shout out to Kinesis. I'm going to teach you more and more as I get more involved with it too as I get home. But I'm buying silver right now, like KAG, you know, just a couple $1,000s whenever I get the chance. And I'm going to, you know, when that flips, I'm going to move it into BTC. I believe silver might be able to outperform Bitcoin in the next couple years, right? So that's kind of my hedge. Maybe I'm wrong, but that could make me more BTC in the long run. And it's right there. You can go from silver coin to Bitcoin, back to gold coin. And it's kind of a fun, easy way to trade with the yield and the metal back payment system. It's pretty awesome. So find out more at kinesis.money if you want to put your gold to work. If your gold just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, like mine is, then now I can actually put my gold into a DeFi ecosystem and start using it and actually put it to work, which is pretty cool. I can digitalize my gold. And you know what? One day I might even be able to buy some Bitcoin on the money I earned off the gold, instead of having you just sit there doing absolutely nothing. Okay? So, hey, that's what Kinesis is doing. They had, why can't we find a way to get liquidity out of the, you know, and they did it. I think it's innovative, absolutely beautiful, because so many people has gold and silver sitting around. Why don't we start entering it into the ecosystem and get it moving into that cryptocurrency game? You know what I mean? So that's what Kinesis is about. That's why I'm all about it. It's a future. You're going to see this company 10 years from now. It's going to be a pioneer. You're going to realize it was the beginning of something big. Kinesis.money. That's why I partner with the future, man. I'm speculative. I can see it. And God bless Kinesis. Thank you for the partnership. I am sponsored by Kinesis. So check it out. BTC struggling to stay afloat here. Not looking amazing. Let's take a look at the bearish. Let's go super bear here and look at a bearish chart. Like, let's just be really as bearish as we can. I'll look at like the Bybit chart. I have a, you know, Bybit spot. Just like to go against, you know, make sure I'm not overly, you know, what you could say is, you know, we have this, could be an ascending triangle. These could break up or down either way. And you already dumped. Usually you come back to the top of the channel, but man, tough couple of days of trading. Say there was a little bit of bearish div there. That swung down while that swung up. But you could say that was the bearish div and we kind of fought it back. This could curve down too and give you a, you know, and if you really want to see it, it's kind of a shoulder, a head and a right shoulder, and that could just dump. It's also a huge gap right here, and we could be back at 109 pretty fast. The weekly's also away from the 21-day moving average. So there is some bearish tones here. It's not all 100% bull. But what I do like is the daily on that 21, man. So if the daily closes below the 21, 2 or 3 candles below the 21, that's going to tell me that it's not a good sign. You know, that's going to be sickness for the bulls. We don't want the bulls to get sick. But if the daily decides to start closing multiple candles below the 21, it's kind of already trying to do it a little bit here. But if it closes 2, maybe even 3 candles, this is looking to roll over on the stochastics RSI, start to come on down, and then, you know, drag through the gap all the way back here, somewhere to 109,000. You see? And you got this resistance at about 120K. All right. So this is what I am looking at here for BTC. Like, it's, you know, and that's why it's a risk to go long. You never know. That's why if you get paid, you took the risk. You see what I'm saying? No one knows what's going to happen to price action. Every trader takes their best bet. Right now, it's starting to look a little bearish. Like, this is not the way I wanted it to go today. It's, you know, it was supposed to stay up here, pump a little bit, hit this area, come down, and just kind of go sideways. It still hasn't broken the low here, and it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world, but we got to get a bounce pretty soon. Bitcoin has to kind of show that it can go back and forth here on the smaller time frames. Otherwise, it's kind of has this, it has a head and shoulder vibe for me right here that looks like it may take a tumble to the downside. So bounce for me now, Bitcoin. Bounce now or forever hold your peace. I'd like to get a bounce here on the 15. Show me the money, BTC. Out this falling wedge, back to the upside. Bang, bang, bang. So there's the daily trade, possibly giving us a great entry right there too. Again, it takes guts to make these trades. It takes guts to, you know, scared money make no money. All right, people that are afraid to make a goal, to make a move, never make a move. Then you never learn. I'd rather lose and learn. You know, I learned that because I used to sit in my apartment and not do much and think I was going to do something and sit in thought, and the thought would have me just trapped and I'd barely do anything. I did that for so long, I said I'll never do that again. And so I do the same thing in my trades. Like, if I sit there and stare at it and never do anything, I'd rather lose a trade because at least that meant I did something, man. You know what I mean? Like losing a hockey game, at least I was on the ice. You know, losing a football game, at least I played. You know, you can't, if you don't play, you can't even, you know, losing is awesome because it means you were on the dang field. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't want to keep losing. You want to find a way to, you know, to win over time. Nobody likes to lose forever, but there, you know, it's part of the game, right? Very rarely was someone completely undefeated. The Patriots almost did it. 19-1, right? The Miami Dolphins, one team in the history of football, went undefeated. So even the greatest teams ever that broke records, did amazing things, lost a couple games that year, right? I talk about Michael Jordan. He missed thousands of the last shot that he took, but he hit a lot of them to remember that he hit the last shot a lot. Me, I don't lose, I don't hit every trade, but people who see me win a lot of trades, right? Over time. Similar thesis. Wow, Bitcoin, come on, baby. It looks like it's going to dump on us, baby. Looks like it's going to take us down. Just not our day today. I might have to skip out with the win and just walk away, baby. Man. Give us that bounce, baby. They're pushing us. Starting to get lighter, though. Seems like the shorts are getting a little less. Hey, BOOKMAP was 100% telling us we're going to 117.5, though. They want 3,700 for ETH, too. 117.4 now. They want to eat. They got the liquidations they were looking for, though. Still all this liquidity to the upside to 120,000. Nice and dark red. I mean, that's deep red now. So they're in the deep red, which is like they ate. I mean, you kind of already did it. And now the next deep red is above us there. Looks like we're going to range right back to 119.5. Just like we've been ranging. We've just been going back up and down. 117.8, 119.9, 117.8. Over and over again. We've got the quadruple sevens there, triple sevens right there. Show me the sevens. Just show me the sevens. That'd be amazing, man. It's like, no. I got to be on the vibe. I'm not feeling right. So, yeah. We want to see this turned into some type of inverted head and shoulder and save the day. Again, remember, this show isn't me telling you what's going to happen. This is me like live streaming what price action's doing and trying to figure it out as we go. Some days we take advantage of it because it looks so amazing, and some days we don't. Other days we just kind of go through the motions here and figure out what we're seeing. We're learning in action. This is how you learn. This is true learning in action, like doing it as you go, right? If you just sat here and did nothing, you got to learn through the motion. It's like clay. Like, you got to mold the clay in your hands. You got to find it. You got to make it happen. You got to become actively part of the move. Very important. Extremely important, right? So, shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being amazing and chilling with the lifer. We love you. We appreciate you guys. And we thank you so much for always being amazing lifers. It's been awesome. So the NASDAQ, I didn't get in this morning, had this crazy pump and dump. Look at it. And then the jobs opening just said, no way, right? So they started to bring, it's almost like they knew the jobs opening was going to be bearish, and then they just, So you can see we're kind of, an all-time high there too for the NASDAQ at 2365.3, right? But a bearish div had it struck. I wanted to see it make a nice right shoulder. Out of nowhere, it just ripped with no right shoulder. I said, man, this thing left without me. I never got to get in on the trade. So I'm still sitting there with 4,500 from 2,000. So we're really starting to turn, and soon that will be 5,000. I'm going to keep kicking it. And then we're going to turn it into 10 grand. And we're going to turn 2,000 into $10,000 trading the NASDAQ on BTCC. And if you follow along with me, I give every trade, and we're 16 for 20. We've only lost 4 trades. And it's been about a month. So, hey, this has been an awesome journey. Come kick it with me on BTCC. Follow the Tech 100, which is the NASDAQ. See what's happening. Learn what I'm trading. Learn what's happening. Learn what I'm looking for. Understand the technical analysis and become part of the education. Make education your life like I did and see where it will take you. I teach people every single day, constantly. I'm in the mode of teaching. I want to show people what I see. I could keep it to myself. I could say, you know what? Why show anyone any of this? But I know these probabilities are going to help you. I'm positive in my heart and soul that what I do is good and clean. I teach technical analysis for free every single day for 2 hours a day. And I show everything that I do as much as I can without being overly ostentatious, and keep it as humble as I can as my life expands right in front of you. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just showing you a reality TV show of what it means to be a crypto lifer. Like, I dedicated myself to crypto. A year from now, it'll be 10 years. In 2026, I started late 2016. By 2027, it'll be a solid 10, 11 years in cryptocurrency. God bless everybody that kicks it with me. God bless the lifers. You know how hard it was when you first got in. You got made fun of. People laughed at you. People say, what, you're a crypto dude? Oh, it was my brother. He's into crypto, huh? So cute. People didn't understand it, so they made fun of people that were into it. You were the nerd. You were the weirdo. You were the class clown, the laughing stock. Not anymore. Not at Bitcoin at 100,000. Not when Larry Fink's buying every piece of Satoshi he could put his hands on. Then you know that you were in position. You could see things that the masses couldn't, and they made fun of you for it. It happened throughout time. Any scientist, mathematician that had a better, bigger idea, astrologer, astronomer, they were laughed at and ridiculed. Why? Because their idea challenged the status quo. If you tell your friends and family you're going to get rich because you found some coin online and you don't have to work like them or go to school like they did, and you can make your own show on YouTube and talk about what you want, what do you think people are going to say when you say that? What do you think people say when I say, oh, my dream is to be a YouTuber and make money on cryptocurrency and work from home? My dad heard that and he thought I wanted to be lazy. You know what I'm saying? He thought I was trying to, you don't like hard work? You know what I'm saying? The generations didn't understand that it was time that we had to pivot. Like, the old way of making money was old. It was getting, it was outdated. And it was getting harder and harder to go that route and far less difficult to use technology in your, right? Please subscribe to the channel, everybody. We're almost at 99,000 subscribers. Today would be an awesome day to hit 99,000. All right. Should be nice for alts to go up, still way down. 100%, yeah, a lot of them are down. 100%. Exactly. The guys at work laugh at me sitting in their 401ks. They'll be working while I retire early. Hey, sounds like the record is skipping, bro. I don't know who that is. Yeah. Away for losers. Yeah, good morning. Sound is cutting off every 5 seconds. Dang. Reset the app. Sounds good to me, though. I don't get it. Okay. One of my best friends, my brother-in-law, introduced me to his sister, sees my success and still insure Bitcoin. I love him and can only lead by example. Amen. Phi Protocol and Solana can be found on Deck Screener. We took a look at it. Thank you. We'll take a look at it again. Bitcoin attempting the bounce. I see an inverted head and shoulder here. My trader instinct sees a cup and handle on the stochastic RSI. Look, the indicator just flashed a green R at the very moment. That's the first time I saw it flash it in time. We caught the bullish divergence right now. Bitcoin to the upside. We caught bullish divergence, the daily bottom. In again at about 11:15 like it is every single time. Yeah. Now you're all good for sound here. Thank you. If it's cutting in and out, just reset it and you'll be ready to rock again. I accidentally left my VPN on. All right. So, which I had, and I was worried the stream wasn't going to go at all. But luckily it's kicking loud and clear. Shout out to Master Friend. I love you, man. I feel this good clarity. Yeah, you sound great, man. I love you, brother. Shout out to Zeno in the house. God bless Jamie. I love you, brother. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for all my peoples. So Bitcoin, looking interesting. Tech 100, boomed, but came back down. I wouldn't touch it today. Bitcoin looks like it may be getting the bounce here back to the upside. And I do like that daily. I like the daily flag. Love you, Sammy. Love you, brother. Reset YouTube. You'll be okay, says Bellico X. Everything will be okay. Deep breaths, everybody. If you have to breathe into a paper bag, it's going to be okay. Okay? If you got to breathe into a paper bag, you just got to don't do that at home, okay? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Just calm yourself down. You'll make it. Rave song in the house. Yeah. Refresh if you're skippy whippy. Trippy clippy. Sir, could you look at IO? Let's look at IO because it was interesting me recently. Took a dump though, huh? We wanted to see it break out of that little flag and do damage. I had an alert on that. It did, but then when Bitcoin took that, right, when we had that hole, it was up a little bit. Stop loss to break even collapsed. I don't really like this coin. I'm not too into it. It's below the daily 200 moving average. It's got some severe resistance it's fighting. Seems to have bounced off the bottom. 1 hour. I don't know. It's below the 200 moving average on almost every time frame. This thing looks horrible, man. I wouldn't touch it till it gets at least above the 5-minute 200. Yeah, it looks horrible. I'm all set on that coin. Maybe I'm wrong and it pumps out of nowhere in the next few weeks too. It's happened. But for me, I'm just all set, Yeah. It's good that sometimes you see me go over something and I'm just going to tell you, I just think it's complete. It's not. It doesn't look good. The TA looks horrible. It is what it is, right? MLG. I don't know much about this coin. It looks like it did a cup and handle pump and then it just got sold off again. It's away from the 21-day moving average on that daily. 1 hour and 2 hour. I don't know. It looks like kind of a low. I don't know what it is. I think it was a meme, right? That was out for a while. Says it could pump. It's in a flag. It's above the 200 moving average, touch of the 21. It's got movement. It's a little too risky for me, though. But the TA looks somewhat okay. All right. Let's take a look at that. What decks without KSC for spot do you recommend? Kurt. A dex, I mean, dexes are just simple. Like, I like Jupe. Like, Jupe's a great dex to use for, you know. And the dexes just pop up right there in Dex Screener. But if you want to use a, you know, like an actual exchange, I love Weeks. Weeks is a great place to get started. Start your first trade ever. You know, get yourself situated. I love Weeks. So Weeks is a good place. You know, good customer service, a good connection to the team. Things can get squared away real easily for you over there. So I like Weeks for that reason. They've always been very accommodating and very nice. Weeks, baby, Weeks. But to try to find the trade of the day here too as well. You never know. We just might catch it. We just might catch it here on the live. Weeks. All right, there we go. That, yeah. All right. What a beautiful day it is to be alive, man. Like today should be one of the greatest days of our lives. Like I'm going to see my children, right? And hopefully everyone is safe at the end of tonight. And every night I go to bed, all my kids were safe. You know, not one of them got hurt. No one got sick. I didn't take anyone, you know, anywhere. You know what I mean? Every time my 3 children are okay, my wife is okay, I'm okay. Every time everyone goes to sleep safe. I mean, that's a blessing. My sisters, all my lifers. But people take things for granted, you know? Yeah, I lost money today. I went up and down today. Okay. But did you go to bed with all your arms and legs? Did you, you know? Some people made tons of money today and got in a car accident. Who would you rather be? Would you rather lose, get liquidated, and go home safe? Or make 30 grand that day on a huge trade? But you know what I mean? I don't, you know, I'm just... It puts things in perspective when you realize your life is the most important thing that you have in your life. And everything else is a detail. Take a deep breath. We stress so many things that we shouldn't even be stressing. Like you got your life. You got your health. Deep breath. Like you're good. I have to do that for myself all the time. Like I'm always fighting it. It's like, man, you got your life. You got your health, man. You're good. Everything else can come from that. Once you got those 2 things, you can get rich. You can get whatever. There's people right now that don't have that ability to move as fast, to get it going. You know what I'm saying? Car accidents, get hit in the head. They have to learn how to walk again. People go through so much trauma in this world. I stay blessed that everything is okay and safe right now, you know, and that each day God continues to keep me safe. MSTAR looks interesting to me. I don't know anything about it. It looks like it's trying to rebuild on higher lows. I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about that coin though. So back to Bitcoin. Really struggling. Doesn't really want to get back above some key levels. Let's take a look at BTC here. So it couldn't make the inverted. It just continued to dump. Continued to say it's going to dump a lump, a lump, a bump, a bump, a lump, a lump. Man. Another bullish div though. Stronger than the last now. Really trying to say, no, we're done. We're going to round that bottom today. It's attempting to round the bottom here and start to kind of end the pain. It was a nasty couple of dumps so far here for BTC. As we lost the 200 moving average too. That's why my first scalp, that's why I do the scalp. That was, you know, that's a beautiful scalp that's supposed to play out absolutely beautifully to the upside, right? I mean, that thing is just gorgeous. It was in a flag, touch of the 21-day moving average. Everything was in our what I say, in my flavor, right? On the 3-minute, it looked gorgeous. Even here on the 5. You know, we had ourselves in a bit of a flag here above the 200. Rarely do you get that type of dump, and then we got, you know, boom, to the downside. So it can happen. It can happen. It is what it is. So there you have it for BTC. And, you know, when I look at this too, you know, that looks like we may, you know, I don't know. I don't see a lot of, as we said, 117 really supported. So it's like, you got to get, it's like, can't tell you how crucial a bounce here today would be, because it looks like there could be some more downside for Bitcoin here. If we can't kind of start to round this out. Start to get some descending triangle vibes. I don't know. Chop is chop. Chop will always be harder to decipher than, when you're in a nice trend or you're changing trend. So today we get back above 118. So if you're trying to figure out what's happening to price, you're looking at this 30 second, even the 5 second. You're looking for price to get back above the 200 moving average and do it clean. Then you're looking for the 30 second, the 1 minute, the 3 minute, and everything to kind of start to align again and get back somewhere up in here. So otherwise, we're going to continue lower, make another bear flag, and continue to dump. I do see it. There's a pretty good bullish div here. There and there now, suggesting we are going to bounce. Did we find the daily bottom? I don't know. Every time it looks bullish, I see more red. Like this looks like a descending triangle to me. See this? These dump to the downside 90% of the time. I see more pain coming right now. That's just what it says. I don't mean to be like... It says 117, 111 is coming. We're about to drop further down. That's what that descending triangle says is about to happen. We are getting far for the 21, so we will get extended. There will have to be some type of pullback at one point. Like pull back up to, or pull up, I should say. But there should be a pull back to the 200. And this will affect the whole market. A little bit of a nasty pullback here on a Tuesday. That's what happened. We've been pumping on the weekend, dumping on Monday, Tuesday, right? And into the week. Sad thing is, what if Bitcoin takes a horrible dump to the downside here, and this is kind of some bigger pain? And a lot of people are high leverage altcoins. They're going to get demolished. And so I tell people, like, I just sold spot altcoin and got out. Other people are heavy leverage alts. Like, it's just like, I don't write my signature to that game. I think that's high treachery. So many people are going to leverage alts. They're going to get liquidated, and that money could have been into BTC long term. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I know so many people that probably would have benefited from buying a long-term hold in a solid position than running after leverage coins or, jumping into altcoins at the wrong time. That's why everyone's like, I want to do this. I want to make money, like you said. What do I do? And I'm always like, start with buying some BTC so you can understand that vibe and go from there. And just, wow. Yep. So there you have it, Bitcoin, and showing signs that it may want to go lower here on BOOKMAP as well. A little bit of liquidity showing up at 116 now. Not amazing, but the big red is up. Big red is above us, so it's like, okay. And you can go at this. And so you eat through 116, 117.5, and 400. I'm not ruling out that we won't reverse back to 120K in the next 36 to 48 hours, though. Again, eventually, I mean, look at this bullish divergence. Eventually, we're going to get the bounce. It's crazy how it's defying the bull div, though. And this whole week, I'm going to be a little more cautious from trading just because of all the crazy news we have coming in, right? Good morning, Sam. SHIB TA, please. FI protocol, fun on deck screener, somebody says. Let's take a look at FI. You're all about it. High risk coin, man. 1.8 million. I mean, it's out of control. Went on a nice pump for whoever wanted it to be seen. You know what I mean? That is a flag, though. And we've seen a lot of these. The ascending triangle really likes to be, I'd say 80% of the time, this will break out on these memes. So I don't know nothing about this coin. I don't know the owner or anybody. I'm not trying to, this ain't a billboard. But that looks like it could pump. You're onto something. Thank you so much for that. And that's why I always got to do the super chats. I never ignore them. Sometimes it takes me a second. I do bounce around, but we always come back and we double check. We make sure we're getting it in. We'll take a look at FARTCOIN too as well. And we'll look at MOMO and SHIB. And thank you so much for the super chats. May God bless everybody that did that. You didn't have to give, but you did. That's $31 in chat revenue. May God bless each and every one of you for doing that. That's blessing on blessing. That will come back to you tenfold. Well, let's go to our altcoin chart here. And we're going to take a look at... We did FI. We're going to take a look at FARTCOIN. It rolls off the tongue now. Before I used to be like, what? Wow, all the way back to 109. I did not expect that. It looked like it was going to continue to rip at 170. You got to be careful with these coins. They're very high risk. Every time you think you're kind of in a solid position, you remember that it's nothing more than a meme that could get sold at any moment. Second the market acts sketchy, people could just dump the thing. That's what's weird, you know what I mean? That's why I'm kind of over the hype. I'm over the FOMO because the FOMO leads to pain over time. And I remind myself of that. I'm like, that coin looked good, but chasing them all ends up being no. So FOMO, even thinking that it would have been better on the other side, I'll take my Bitcoin gains. I'll 100x, and I 100x. It took me 7 years. So be it. I still 100x, right? I want guaranteed money, not fast money. So I was guaranteed to 100x on Bitcoin. That's what I figured. I was right. Wasn't guaranteed to do anything on these other coins. I look for FARTCOIN to bounce. It could be a great entry. It's oversold near the 200 moving average on the daily. It lose that 200 on the daily, though. It's in some trouble. It's like something's happening to the project, but it's been solid for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised. This is just bullish consolidation while it gears up to 360. I'm more bullish than bearish on it. Let's take a look at SHIB Inu. All right. And MOMO. Can you look at DOGE, please? In a 25x trade. Wow. On Fed week, too, huh? Yikes. Let's take a look on SHIB. So SHIB's in this beautiful double bottom, which I expect it to break out and hit 2471 over time. I just think it's got to do it, right? So that's the first thing you want to look at on the big picture. Second picture, nice flag here, but battling the 200 moving average. I want to see it break back above that 200 moving average. Solidly get the move. I could see 5 to 6 more days of a little more downtrending price action to the side there while it fills out the end of that flag, gets ready for another pump. I'm still bullish on SHIB by all means, and that is a beautiful cup and handle. And once the Solana ecosystem starts to moon, SHIB starts to pump, a lot of the coins will pump. We just need that go ahead. Basically, Ethereum will let Solana go. Solana will let these, and then boom. So you want to keep looking at ETH BTC. Indirectly will affect your SHIB trade. So there you go, 1966. And I see it just, 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 6 more days at the most. We could let this puppy rip. All right, let's take a look at MOMO, USDT. Thank you so much for the super chats coming on in. Shout out to Mickey. Shout out to Big B Ruger. Shout out to Carlos Alejandre. God bless you, brother. Thank you. So MOMO did some damage, came back up. The last time I looked at it, I saw this little flag here. I looked at it to go low and pump, and it did. Wow. MOMO hit my target at 3.8 and actually did some damage to the upside. Now what for MOMO? Well, let's take a look-see, shall we? And say what I say, huh? Well, it made higher highs, higher lows, and then it made a bearish div and dumped. Came back down. I'd pull the Fibonacci. Pretty close to the 786. It made a falling wedge and it broke out. Is this the beginning of a bigger move? Does this mean it's about to launch to the upside? I mean, possibly it has the beginnings of that for sure. But that's the 1 hour. Look at your daily. Daily's like in a decent flag, I guess, but still somewhat unpredictable. We'll go to look at the 22 and the 12. I mean, Bitcoin did this recently, though. It was a fake out, but, very oversold. I wouldn't be surprised if it does bounce here. High risk, though. If you take a shot, it's a very high risk. But Momo's a newer coin. It's been speculated on. It bounced off the 786 fib. Yeah, look for that 8 hour to possibly do some damage. Very oversold. Hugging a higher low. Previous resistance is support, too. That's an SR flip. I could see Momo go all the way up to 6 cents. And 166, right? 61665. That's a 200% gain. Let me actually go. No. It's about 128% gain for Momo. Little high risk for me, but the TA is starting to play out a little bit. It's up to you, though. You got to figure out if that's for you. Let's take a look at Doji Boy and see what's happening to Dogecoin here on MEXC. Doge. Shoulder kind of, it looks like it's doing, I've seen this recently. It doesn't make a head and shoulder. It makes a half a head and shoulder. And then it still dumps to the downside. Technically, it's a descending triangle, right? So I don't know, whatever reason, this looks bearish to me. Dogecoin. Let's look at the bigger picture and see if I'm seeing something wrong. I mean, giant double bottom suggests we can pump. Once it broke out, that was an entry there. And it looks like it could do damage up to 28. But now it's pulling back too as well. 5-day, 3-day chart. Doge is struggling. I mean, if you look at the 3-day chart, that's got to reset in the stochastics. I'd be setting a fib here and looking for it to come back down. You know, it looks like some key levels for Doge are going to be 20 cents. Maybe even a wick down to 18, right? Where it can begin its next journey to the upside. Just a giant cup and handle, and I do see Doge continuing to pump. I own a big old bag of Doge, and I'm in it. So let's go, Doge. Let's go. ENA, double bottom. Only way is up, somebody says. Yeah, let's take a look at that. We did SHIB. We did MOMO. And let's just make sure. Shout out to everyone here that gave today. We have money print. We looked at DOGE. God bless ZBCN Daily Cup and Handle. Thank you, Peter. We've got FARTCOIN from Lazaro Roberto. Thank you for always showing up. God bless. God bless John Connor. We did Solana for CryptoWiz. We did Phi Protocol for TL8989. Again, FARTCOIN for Lazaro Roberto. We talked about a DEX with Kurt. I like weeks, really. But good morning, Sam. SHIB TA for Carlos. We did that. We looked at MOMO for Soulflowers. And now we're looking at Doge for Mickey LA. And now we're going to be looking at ENA for Big B Ruger. Magard, thank you so much for this 13. And then we'll look at Kita from Magard as well. So thank you so much. We appreciate all those super chats. Let's take a look at the top fans today too. And who's killing it on the board? Magard with 750 XPs. CryptoWiz next, and Big B Ruger. Wow, you guys are really taking it by storm. Crypto Cal, my man. God bless you, brother. Mr. Butters Trading, Reliable J. Lakochi. And some OG Rave Song Records is up in the mix too. Bellico X, Mad B, Max Mining. These are the top 50 lifers, man. If you want to make it into the top 50, from No to Be Unknown all the way to Steven Gameros, to Megard, Sultan, Stephen Watson, and Shez Mood Phantom. I want to say hi to everyone. Aris Fox, Zhao S1J, Max Mining, Feathers 54 in the house, Preston, Kirk, God bless you, Preston. Hopium Copium, we love you, man. We see you around. Grace Protocol, hold to be down forever. God bless you, Grace. You Grow, I Grow. Cherry City Bullies always around. Stephen Gameros holding me down. Wow, Sasquatch, we got the whole crew, man. Blessings to everybody out there. Let's take a look at ENA and Kita. I hold a bag of ENA for 2 years now over here. Athena finally had a little pump there from 25 cents all the way up to 69. Almost did a 3X, really, which is pretty awesome. The daily, just away from the 21 and above the 200. So just, we just need to see some market structure. Come back to that 21-day moving average. Stay above the 200. Don't make a shoulder, head, right shoulder. And we could be on our way to about $1 for ENA. For sure. Let's take a look at Kita. Kita. Wow, that Phi Sol looks good to me. Watch Phi Protocol. Very high risk, though. Very high risk degen. But, you can tell it's Bitcoin. There's more alt action going on, right? Yeah, we had Trash, we had Hustle, a bunch of different coins did damage, right? Bang. Bang. Wow, and look at that. The descending triangle, just like I said, it was going to dump. We couldn't get the rounded bottom. Bitcoin collapses further to the downside. Another day, man. Another struggle, man. In and out. I love day trading. I hate holding things more than a day or two, man. In and out, baby. So happy I sold Zebek Network where I did. It's probably holding pretty nicely. Let's take a look. I want to look at Kita. They got it on Blowfin, BitPy, Polonian X. There's, yeah, you can see it on Uniswap. There it is, yeah. They really implemented Uniswap pretty nicely into TradingView in the last year and a half, you know. And we talked about Kita bouncing off the 618, you know, the 786 even right there. I mean, that's it. And that's the entry. Went from 50 cents all the way to 132. Crazy if you think about it. And now it's starting to kind of come back to its old school ways. And it's a fast coin. It's got a lot of traction. We put it out at 12 cents, so you'd still be in the money now, even after all the ups and downs. It's been insane, right? I'm trying to get 1 million XCN. Is the right time? Please check it out. Shout out to Johnny. God bless you. I don't know. You got to look at it for yourself. I would never tell you what to buy or sell. Yeah. XTC just listed on Binance. ZBCN is next. I have 18,000. Not sure where to put it. I feel time is running out. Anytime someone feels time is running out, they're feeling. And feelings are emotions. And emotions have nowhere in trading and investing, in my humble opinion. So, when it comes to that, I would do my research. I would ask myself what kind of hits my window of risk tolerance, depending on market cap, right? XCN looks interesting to me, like it could break out anytime soon, though, and go on a massive tear. It's getting tighter and tighter. It could also dump. It could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes up to 5 cents, though. That would be a big move. TA on Memo. We just did TA on Memo. Thank you so much for the super chat. Just jump back into the stream a second before and jump on in. Everyone, I am extremely nauseous right now for somewhat a strange reason. I feel like I'm getting a bit lightheaded and I need to take a moment. Hasn't happened all the time, but it happens every once in a while to me. I stream every single day. So I'm going to jump out a bit early here for whatever reason. I feel like I'm going to faint. I don't know what's up. I feel really strange. I'm getting a little hot in the head. I'm probably fine. It's not a big deal. I just stream every single day. And some days when you talk as long as I do, it just kind of exhausts you. That's all. And I do it day in and day out without a day off. So and I'm not complaining. I love my life. Don't get me wrong. I am not complaining. I'm super happy. But I'm going to jump on out of here for the day. God bless each and every one of you for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. Bitcoin doesn't look amazing. We keep trying to find out when it's going to stop the bleeding here on a divergence. Keeps making a divvy and just trying to hold off on it. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce. They finally got to 117.5 like they wanted. They got the liquidity. And now it looks like we'll just go right back up to 119, 120K. But you never know. I'll keep you posted. Right now I see us going further down to about 117,100. All right. God bless everybody. I feel fine. I think I just had low blood sugar for a quick moment. I'm fine. I just need to sip on some lemonade or something. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you all tomorrow for another beautiful, awesome, amazing, awesome live stream. May God bless each and every one of you. Tomorrow I'll be in a new location at my mom's house, who has passed, and I'll be sharing the space with my sister for the next 9 days. So I love you. I appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you all for being here, and just know that I just care so much about you all, and I thank you so much for being amazing, for being awesome, and being a part of my life. May God bless you all. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all tomorrow. We did get through all the super chats, so I appreciate that. I will bounce back awesome tomorrow. I'm feeling great. Don't get me wrong. I think I actually feel fine right now. It was just a wave. Have an awesome noon, brother. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Right now, I'm looking for a bounce for Bitcoin. I'm looking for them to go right after these longs again. I mean, these shorts. It's only a matter of time. So I'm looking for some type of reversal here for Bitcoin on that daily low. All right. It's only a matter of time. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. I'm so grateful for every single moment I get to share on the screen, and may God bless you all. I'll see you all tomorrow and in the trading group throughout the day. Stay tuned for more. Crypto Lifers, I love you all. Thank you so much. Remember, the secret to success is getting started. What are you going to start today that's going to change your life? Hey, it never ends. Keep pushing. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.